night in the shop. It's a homage to Fellini night. So I'm wearing my Italian New Wave cinema shirt, and I put the camera into black and white. And the instrument that I'm going to show sounds like it came out of a Fellini film. So this is the mystery project. What it is it's a CGDA tuned in the same range as the cello. And this tuning is put over like a regular 650 guitar scale with a fan brace top, and it's basically like a Spanish guitar kind of format, but small. And the body's made out of pine that I took out of an old house that was being demolished and just resawed it, so it's just, you know, this is an experiment. And the peg head has a straight pull on the strings. In other words, they don't go at an angle, they go straight. I wanted to try out that idea. And they're just some viola pegs that I had laying around, and I ended up with this kind of like Dan Electro sort of retro headstock. I just kind of just put this together in a day or two, and actually took 3 days to put it together. Because I wanted to try out this idea. It's like a Mandocello, but it has classical guitar strings, and it's not in double courses. So I don't know what to really call it, whether it's a giant bass ukulele tuned in fifths, or it's a classical cousin of a Mandocello, or I really don't know what to call it. It's just kind of, you know, it's just a weird thing. I suppose somebody's probably already done this before too. I mean, you know, things get repeated. There's simultaneous discoveries, things get buried and unearthed again, so I don't know. But I had to try this out for myself because I thought it was an interesting idea. So basically, anything that you can play on the cello, well, almost anything that you can play on the cello that you can play with a right-hand classical guitar technique, you can play on this. So it lends itself to playing Bach suites for cello. Which, when I get a better camera and I have time to practice, maybe I'll record something like that with make a better recording. You can play other things from the Bach suites. And this bass range comes out. This is a C that's below the E of the classical guitar, so it's kind of like a baritone range. It's not a bass, and it's not a... I kind of think of the guitar as a tenor instrument, kind of with all the problems that come along with operatic tenors too, but that's another story. Anyway, but it has this nice potent bass that you'd have to ordinarily get with a 7-string guitar. But since this is tuned in fifths, if you play, you basically play in bass clef off of the cello music if you want to do it that way. You can also play in treble clef classical guitar music, but it puts you like this. This is the A, which is the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, just to put you in the range of the guitar. And this string right here is the G string. The G note on the 1st string of the guitar, I mean the bass E string of the guitar on the 3rd fret. So this is the G. If you were making this chord, you'd be playing this G. And this is the A, which is if you would be playing on the 3rd string right here. Just to give you an idea of where it is. So you you can play scales like you play on a cello. The same patterns apply here. That makes it kind of triads play out differently than they do on a guitar tuned in fourths, which I want to explore just as a musician, kind of an amateur musician myself. I think it's interesting. So this idea is not anything new, and the guitarist, the really great guitarist, Robert Fripp, of course, has a whole school of playing that's based on the regular electric guitar tuned in fifths. So this isn't really a weird idea. A lot of people are doing it. Just what's odd is that I made it acoustic on this kind of small body. It reminds me of a lot of instruments that are from South America, like the jarana, or like from Mexico. It has this kind of timbre like the Mexican vihuela or the jarana. It's got this funny, haunting, like an E minor chord. And then a C chord. So, I just made it, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with it, whether it's going to be cello music or whether it's going to be played as the bass instrument in a ukulele ensemble, or whether this could be like a bass instrument to add to regular classical guitar arrangements. I could see where you could make arrangements with a standard classical guitar, but if you didn't want to make the timbre of the arrangement weird by adding another instrument, you've got this kind of, this is not like a standard kind of sound, but there's this bass range. So I don't know what will happen to it. It's just an idea that I wanted to kick out for myself, and I'll probably end up playing it in the shop while I'm waiting for glue to dry. So if anybody's interested in knowing more about it, just ask a question. Thank you.